Hi everyone, and welcome to your senior seminar. I am really glad to see a lot of familiar faces. I only see a couple of students in here that I have not taught before. So I want to welcome Tanya and Christian and Alicia and Brian and Tony and Shantae and Rachel and Bailey. So I'm really glad to have you all here. I am going to be working as your academic advisor and your mentor for this class. So I'm going to talk a little bit about who I am and what I'm going to do for you. I'm also going to talk about our book that we're going to be using, The Taking Sides, and how that's going to be important to what we're going to do this semester. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about papers and exams. And finally, I added in a portion of looking at the course room too, and some of the things that we can use in there to stay connected. All right, so let's get started. First off, my name is Lynn Suits, and I am going to be acting in the capacity of your mentor, your helper, your academic support, your advisor, and anything else that I can do to get you through this course. So this course, I know a lot of you, as soon as you hear that you're taking senior seminar, your heart rate goes up about 50 beats a minute. So I know that this course can be stressful for a lot of individuals, but I have designed this in a way that you're going to have some tutorials on helping you write your papers. You'll have some good outlines. You're going to have some other support material. I'm going to be advising you on how to write, and I'm going to be helping you also. So really what we want to do is we don't want to make this course a hurdle and for you to go out of your academic career with Chaminade thinking, oh my gosh, thank goodness I just got through that. We want to look at this as a fantastic milestone that is compounding all of your academics throughout the years and really acts as a, really just kind of like the shining star on your academic career. So that is what I'm here for. I am not here to trip you up or to trick you or to make this a bad time. I'm here so that your last course is fulfilling and it's meaningful to you. And I think it really is going to be a very, very good semester. We don't have a large class, which is nice because we can have a nice group to collaborate with and to support and to help each other. All right, so the book you can see there is down in the little right-hand corner and right here. So this book is a really good book. It's actually a book that I used in my doctoral program. And what this book is going to do is going to start focusing our academic thoughts, our scholarly thoughts. You all have written papers before, and sometimes you put opinion into them, sometimes you don't. But as you move forward in your academic career, because I always assume that students are going to go on to get their master's degree, so what this is going to do is I'm going to teach you how to write academically and scholarly in a way that will help you in your master's program. So The Taking Sides is a really great book. What it does is it will take one topic and it will give you the two sides given to you by two experts. And then what we're going to do in the discussion room is then we're going to talk about the two sides. And you can take a stance of supporting one or the other. Now, as you will notice here, I've said we're going to debate, don't irritate. In other words, just like in any other course that you've taken from me, I expect pure respect for different views. And I expect that you are at the point now in your education journey that you will be very respectful of each other. We can have differing views and still respect one another. Words such as "that's a really stupid comment" or "you're an idiot" just aren't acceptable when we are at this level of in our academic careers. So what the other thing that you can expect from me in the course room is that I will give you that respect as a scholar, and my comments will be supportive, or I might add to your comment and ask you to maybe give an example of something, and that's really just to elaborate and to really deepen our understanding of a particular topic. I think you'll really, really enjoy doing this. At first I wasn't sure how I was going to like debating with other students or taking a side and then maybe having to tell another student that I didn't agree with them. But once you start reading these different articles and these different topics, you'll understand why research is so important. There's many times where I thought I had a stance on something, and then after reading the 2 articles, then I really questioned my own judgments and my own thoughts and views. So this is what it's going to do. It's going to challenge us academically. It's going to challenge us to look at our own thoughts and our own views. So this is a real good book. I really enjoy reading these topics, and I hope that you all do too. And the other thing, the other component to this is we are going to, as you can see, it says learn academic restraint. And what academic restraint is sometimes you might want to go on and on and on and on about a topic, but we are going to limit our responses to just 1 paragraph. So basically, I might be a little flexible to 2, but basically what we are going to do is after we've read this, in a summation, is you have to state your side and your case in 1 paragraph. And what that does is it makes you focus on what is important that you want to say, just as you would in any type of research. Research is supposed to eliminate all those extraneous thoughts or opinions and really focus on what is at hand and what it is that you want to get across to your readers. So this might be a little bit interesting. It was hard for me at first to write this way, but then afterwards you start getting into a mode of understanding that, oh, my opinion doesn't matter, I have to support it with facts, and so if I put a sentence down, it has to be supported in some way. So I think you'll really find this very interesting and very beneficial. Okay, let's go on to the next one. We are going to talk about the 2 papers and the exam. So there's 2 papers. One is worth 60 points and one is worth 100. The first one is going to be a topic of choice from any of the 7 subfields. And actually there's more than 7 because the Chaminade categorizes them into 7 categories, but then there's even more within those, which I will have a list of those for you. So you're going to pick out one of those subtopics and you're going to do a research paper on that subtopic. I will have the rubric for you. I will have a template for you to use, APA style. I will also have guides for you. So really within the first maybe 1, 2, 3 weeks, third week, we should have a solid understanding of exactly what's going to go in that paper, and you should know what your topic is. I will be checking in probably in the 3rd week to make sure that you already have a topic or that you have a field that you would like to do your paper on. Also, anytime before that, you can shoot me an email or send a note on the Hey Teach discussion board and tell me what you want to do, and we can, kind of collaborate and go back and forth and decide if that's going to be a good paper for you, or if it's a good choice, or if it's too broad, too narrow, et cetera, et cetera. So then we come to the last paper, the second paper, and this is worth 100 points out of the 160 because it's going to be a little bit bigger. What Chaminade has done for their criteria is that you have to take 7 of those subfields, and then you have to weave through it the Marianist values. And a lot of students get stuck on this because they're not really sure how they apply to each other. Well, our very first discussion for week 1 is going to be looking at the Marianist values and then looking at these subfields. So we're going to really lay down a great foundation for the rest of the course because that's what we're going to be focusing on. We're going to be focusing on how do these things relate. And so I think the first discussion board is really going to enlighten us, and it's going to give us a lot of information. And then when it comes time to write that second paper, it's not going to be that scary for you. And then we come to the final exam, which of course is the scariest for all students because Chaminade has made it a closed book, online, but and then a time constraint exam. So I will tell you, I've got to figure out the timing on but it will be within a certain parameter. There's 55 questions on this, and they all come from the subfields that we're going to talk about. And I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more down the road too. But I'm just going to tell you that that there are the time constraints on it, and what it will be is when you open up the test, there will be 55 questions, and you will have a certain amount of time. I've got to figure out how we're going to do that exactly. It should be about a 2.5, I think it's about a 2.5-hour test with 55 questions. Okay, so don't be scared of the exam. I'm going to talk more about that here in just a second, and how we are going to also support that too. So I want to talk a little bit about the website and some other features that we have for you to communicate with me, et cetera, et cetera. So here is our website, and as you can see, it is really a very interesting new thing that they have here where you can post your picture. Some people don't like to post their picture. That's fine. If you would like to use a picture of flowers or a motorcycle or something that's meaningful to you, please by all means do that too. Or if you just don't want to post anything, that's fine too. Your name will be beside the icon. This is a really neat thing for the course, because as soon as you sign in, you're going to go to the course room, and it will tell you any announcements, it will give you updates, it will tell you what's ahead in the next week. And so it's really kind of like a checklist of reminders of things that maybe need to be done or that you haven't looked at yet. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was looking at the gradebook. Right here, you will always have updates to the gradebook every week if we have items in there, so that you will know exactly where you stand. The next thing is communication. There's a number of different ways for you to communicate with me. Of course, the email in the course room, you can use the Chaminade account, but I guarantee you, you'll be waiting a couple of days. There's really no reason to use the Chaminade account because we are going to be focused in this course room. So please, if you're going to communicate with me, use the in-course room email. And I promise you, you'll get a response usually within a day. If it takes 2 days, then I was traveling or something, because it never takes me 2 days to respond to a student. We are not going to be doing live lessons, but I might do 1 or 2 or maybe even a couple of more of these type of tutorials for you. I like using these. It's just a great way for me to give you a lot of information at once, because either you can be learning and listening to this, or if you're sitting down and doing something else, you can be multitasking while you're listening to me. So as far as the doc sharing, if we have something that contains a document or a Word document or a presentation, I will load that into the doc sharing. These tutorials won't be loaded in there. I can't load those in there, but these tutorials are actually on the live website. So if you go to live and you go to, I think it's called Session Live, you'll see they're all listed there. However, a lot of people using the Mac aren't able to open those, so that's why I do these, and then I upload it to YouTube, and then I download it to the course, so you have it at a finger's click. So anything that we do have as far as material, you will have that in doc sharing in case there is a link that is down. The next thing is we have drop boxes, and that is really for the 2 papers. If for some reason your paper does not, or you can't open your Dropbox to submit your paper, just email it to me as an attachment and let me know. 99% of the time, that is going to be your computer, that there's something wrong, and you need to call the help desk so that they can tell you how to change your settings. Now, if there's a link down within the course room, then a lot of times that's because I didn't do something correctly, or I need to make that link work. And just, shoot me an email and say, hey, the link is down for, I don't know, for the week 1 Get Ready. And I can go in and I can look at that and reconfigure it. The rest of the things that we have here are journal, bibliography, and tech support, just all good information. The journal is for your personal use. And all you do with that is if you want to make notes or something in there, you can add to that. Either it's just for you, or if you need to share something with me, you could always share something with me there too. Okay, so let's look over to the left side of the page, and I'm going to go over the syllabus a little bit more in depth, but here you'll see right here we have the syllabus, the shout out. Please everybody go in there and do your shout out, which is talking a little bit about who you are, what your degree is, just anything you want us to know about you. It's just a nice way that we can kind of get to cyber know each other. The next item is going to be the shake on it, and what the shake on it is our learning agreement, what you can expect from me, and what I expect from you in this course room. And another way to communicate with me is through the office door. This is public. Other students can see this. So if you do have something that's just kind of general knowledge and you don't mind other students knowing about it, then just go ahead and shoot me a little note in there, and if you have a question about something. The lounge, this is for just kind of discussion. Maybe you read a good article, maybe you found a great site for writing papers, not for buying papers, because we know that that would not be academic honesty. So it's just really a very social type of setting where you guys can just speak to each other freely, and sometimes I just go in there too and chat, or somebody has mentioned something about cooking or something, I don't know. It's just kind of a hodgepodge. So that's another fun feature to use. And then the Dropbox bonus. If you go into the Dropbox up here again, and you can either send an attachment or you can type right into the dialog box and just send me a hello, just so I know that you can use that feature. And besides that, it's worth bonus points, so might as well. Okay, so let's see where we're at here. I think there was, oh, let me go to the next slide, because this one I was going to, okay, I'm not sure if I've mixed these up or not. Okay, we'll see if the other one comes up or not. If not, it's not a big deal. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the syllabus, because yeah, it's on the next slide, so I'll talk about it then. All right, so here is what you can expect when you open up one of the little sidebars here. This is the week 1 Get Ready, and this is going to be our discussion for this week. And so when we look at the week 1 Get Ready, you're going to have 1 and 2 different Word documents that you will open up. They're only a page long each, and so they're very short. But then we're going to start talking about, in the discussion, we're going to start talking about how we can integrate the subfields and the Marinus value. So this is going to be a really good discussion. So this will be ongoing. And then you will also see that I always have response length. So this is more like a rubric, which tells you how to do the initial response. We already talked about that, where your initial response should be 1, maybe 2 at the max, 2 at the max paragraph, and then that will be due on April 10th. And then you have 2 responses to write back to your fellow learners. And so what these responses should be is it should be something that's encouraging, supportive, or maybe just saying, I didn't perceive that because I saw this on the other side of that article. And so it's just going to be just giving us more information of looking at academic thought. So we're going to try to pull our opinions out of a lot of this, and even when we respond, we are going to try to use the book and the supports that they've given to us. So it's going to be a little bit more of academic restraint on the discussion boards. And let's see, what else did I want to tell you here? And you have the due dates. The one thing that I do ask is that you try to respond early on in the week. By Saturday and Sunday, whoever's posted has pretty much done their posting, and so we just get this little dwindling effect, and it's really a lot of times right at the end. It just doesn't add much to the conversation. So if we try to get those done a little bit early, it gives everybody a lot of text to kind of go over and different views. And then actually by Friday or Saturday, then we can pretty much be done our posting. I go through, I read everything, and for those of you who've been in my class, you know that I pretty much try to respond to everybody every week, even if it's just something that's supportive, encouraging, or asking to elaborate on something. So I do like to add to the discussions, and I will be present in the course room. Okay, so let's see. Next one that I talked about was I wanted to talk about. Here we are. The schedule. When you open up the syllabus, you will see this schedule. You can connect. There's a link there so that you can get the full syllabus. But most students, really all they want is to know what is coming up for the next week. So this will give you the full look of what is coming up each week by week, the topics, what the gradable items are, et cetera, et cetera. I wanted to talk about these section exercises. So let me go back one here. You will see here it'll say review. And so that is actually going to be our exercises. These reviews right here, you can see another one here. These reviews are going to be an open discussion board. And what I am doing for you, and you're going to get points for this, what I'm doing for you is I am taking those 7 topics that we have and that we're going to be talking about, and I am going to be writing objectives and things that you should know. Now every week you'll probably have, there should be, I'm guessing maybe 6 or 7 of those. And so I'm going to write down the objectives in the course room. This is going to be a streaming discussion for you all. So this is going to be a cooperative or collaborative effort on all of your part to answer those questions or answer those objectives. So let's say if we are looking at one of these subfields of, I don't know, personality. So there will be different things that I will put in there that I think that you should know. And so there'll be major concepts. And so 1 or 2 of you can, you know, pick, I don't know if you want to divide it or whatever, you guys can figure that out yourself. The first person maybe can pick the first topic, the second person in the room can pick the second topic, et cetera, et cetera. And then as you guys post, what that is going to be, that is going to be your study group for the final exam. So the review, the weekly review, is you are going to get points for being in there and posting. I think it's, I can't remember, I think it's like 7.5 per week. But still, they compound and they certainly add up. But this is going to be like an online study group for you. So I will do my best to focus the areas that I think need attention when it comes to concepts or things that you probably learned that need to be that were highlighted in a particular subject. So I will make sure that you have a study material for that. I think it's kind of ridiculous for the school to expect you to know an entire book. So we're going to focus study a little bit, and we're going to look at major concepts. And so that really should help you out when you do take the final exam. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. Oh, already had that one, sorry. All right. So let's just kind of sum it up a little bit. I hope that I have alleviated a little bit of the stress so far, because really, like I said, this class should be a fun class for you. I know writing papers isn't always the funnest thing. However, what we can do is we can work together to make this a better experience. And how we're going to do that is we're going to focus our academic thought. We're going to start focusing our scholarly writing. And so everything that we do in this class is going to focus on getting you to the point of writing a good solid paper that you're proud of and getting you to the point that you feel comfortable going in and taking that exam at the end of this term. And I really think that as you'll see over here, you know, we have a single person and a single person over here, and a lot of times when we have one person out there on their own trying to do everything, it's very difficult. So if we all just kind of work together and we support each other and we help each other out, then I really think that it's going to be smooth sailing for us. So I look forward to working with all of you. If there's anything that you think that you need more elaboration on or that you want to discuss, there's always the Hey Teach at the end of every week. You'll see that title there for you. You can ask me a question there. You can email me. There's lots of different ways. I won't leave you hanging out there. You'll see we're going to have some great APA tutorials. I'm going to give you templates for different things. And so what I really want this to be is just a really great two months or 10 weeks of working together and getting everybody through this class without the stress that this class generally generates. So again, I look forward to working with all of you. I'm happy to be here with you, and I will see you on the discussion board.